Hello everybody. We've been showing things with different types of Wi-Fi capturing and such. I thought I'd go over word lists. You may or may not know that you can download various types of word lists. How strong or how good or how thorough your word list is going to decide how well your cracking goes when you're using your Hashcat or AirCrack. I prefer AirCrack, it's old and true. But anyway, we're going to look at some different ways that you can create word lists that can make your chances a lot better. First, let's go root. Okay, clear the screen here. Alright, and let's see, it should be in there. We'll go to, well, I think we got that in my apps. And if not, we'll create it. Let's go back and create that. We're just going to make a directory. My attacks. Okay. And let's give ownership to regular users so we don't have to deal with root problems when we go to use it and we're not sudoed up. So I did a chown, CHOWN, as you can see. Now, let's go into that directory. Okay, so now whenever we create these word lists, they're going to pop right where your terminal is. And right now we're in the My Attacks folder, so they'll be right there. Now, first thing we're going to do is let's go over Crunch. Some of you are familiar with that. Now, first thing you want to do when you're getting into a program that you're not familiar with, even if you are familiar with it, you use so many different programs in here, it's probably a good idea to do this first, is view the help file, which can be done with -h or -- help. And I usually try -h first. And you see Crunch is pretty simple. You can get more instructions by looking at the manual. It tells you to refer to the man page. In case you don't know how to do that, you do man crunch. And then there's all the deep description. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Alright, so basically Crunch is going to create a list from numerical or characters, numbers, letters, or special symbols. Now you'll type Crunch, and the first thing you'll do is the minimum amount of characters that you want in your passwords. And we'll say 2. I'm going to make these small since we're doing this in a little tutorial session. And the maximum number, I'm going to make it 4. And we're going to say, use these characters, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And we're going to tell it to output to a file called, by -o or -o, called mylist.txt. Okay? We hit enter. Crunch is going to do its thing, and it's done. So we do an ls, there it is. Now let's look at it with cat, and there's our word list, using just those letters and numbers that we want, and every possible combination that it can possibly be in. Okay? So that's a way to make a simple word list. But let's say we need it more targeted. Okay? One way to do that is to get information. That's the social engineering part. You want to get as much information about your target as you can. So you might use something like, say, Sherlock. There we go. Now, Sherlock is going to give you a more information, like how different social sites that person's on. So let's say Sherlock, let's see the username, and then you can put it into an output file so you have the information for later. That's good to know. But it'll pull up all the different social sites that person's on. Now, why do you want the social sites? Because you're going to look for things in common and that are bits of information about their personal life. The name of their pet, maybe they're a teacher or something like that, their first name, their last name. All these are things to be considered when looking for their password, because people are normally pretty simple. Even in this day and age, most people do a very simple password, something easy they can remember. So once you have that information, now instead of crunch, let's do cool, another word list creator. Okay, now we're going to do a help run on cool, and this gives you all the different identifiers and such that you can use. Okay, now the cool thing about cool is, let's say we take a person's social profile. Okay, we're going to go to their social profile actually on the web. So we're going to do cool. Here, let me clear that so you can see it better. Okay, so we're going to do cool, and then we're going to set a depth of how many links it's going to go beyond that social profile. So if it finds any links, that tells it how far to follow. Okay, and we don't want it to go too far, so we're just going to say 2. Alright, and let's do, I'm just going to make it short and sweet here. We're going to go to the Hacker Quebec group site, or group page. Okay, we'll pretend like this is somebody's profile. And I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab the URL, and then we're going to go right back and we're going to paste the URL there. And then we're going to tell it to be verbose so we can see what it's doing. And we're going to hit enter. And there's our word list. Now if we wanted, we could do an output to this also. And how we would do that, we'll put that command back up there, is we would write before the verbose mark, we put tac W, and we'll say, what do we want to name it? My test.txt. Alright, and poof, and it wrote the words to a file. Okay, so now if we check, there's my test.txt. So let's look at it, and there's our file. And these are all words that it grabbed from that page. Okay, so if you were using someone's profile, it's going to grab keywords and all from their profile page. Like, for instance, like we just said, their pet name, maybe their occupation, stuff like that. Okay, now there's also a tool that you can get. Now this doesn't come with Kali, but you can get this in addition to Kali, and this is called let's see, Mentalist. Okay, now whoop, thought we had that one put in there. Let's see, there we go. Okay, and Mentalist has a GUI to it. Alright, now the cool thing about Mentalist is that this will take your word list that you just created and it will jumble it around and do extra things with it. So I could just make a word list if I wanted. I could say open up, say we're going to open up a text file here. Say we've been doing our research and we're checking out Jane. And Jane's last name is Johnson, and we know she's a teacher, and she has a dog named Spot, and she keeps showing pictures of her 57 Chevy, so we're going to do Chevy 1957. So we could take these words right here and make a list out of it, and we'll save this to our list in the same folder. Oh, we're in the, whoops, I'm in the wrong folder. Excuse me, folks. There we go. Now see, here's our other two lists. So we're going to call this one chain.text. Okay, and save that. So now that's our word list saved that we have so far. Very simple of all of our keywords. Now you can download the binary, our precompiled version of Mentalist, and I do suggest doing that. Reason being because the one that you compile in the terminal for some reason doesn't seem to want to work with the newest version of Kali. However, the binary does. And what you run into, see, like I'm going to tell it, okay, let's add, you already have the dictionary here, an English dictionary, and I want to add my custom file. So I'm going to go find Jane, open, and so you get this error. So what I did was I downloaded the binary. There we go. And we have it right here. So we activate that. There's our binary version. And for some reason this one will work. Okay, so we'll go to our folder. Find our directory. There we go. And we're going to choose Jane. Open that and see it just added our custom word list there. Now I want to add a few more goodies. I'm going to go, okay, substitution. Let's do case first. Alright, so that's case section. We just added a new section. And I want it to add lowercase. And we're going to say first and upper rest, okay? Alright, and then we're going to add another special thing with case. We're going to do uppercase. We're going to do the same thing with that. And we're going to tell it to toggle, oh, let's say the third letter. Do that too. Okay? Now, let's suppose we wanted to add something else. We want to add a substitution. So you can replace various things with certain things. And you decide, okay, maybe I don't want that. Do you want to delete that mode? Yes, I do. And it's gone. Very easy, very simple program to use. Let's append. So what do we want to append to it? Let's do some special characters. You can do area codes, zip codes, just various numbers or words that you want to add. We'll do some special characters, and there's a whole list of them. We'll just pick a few randomly here. Okay, we'll say okay, and there's the characters we're going to add. And for now, we'll just say, okay, that's enough. Now, this is telling us it's going to create 5,661,408 passwords. Okay, and we're going to tell it process the entire word list. Before we do that, let's get rid of the English dictionary. We just want to work with our custom text, because remember, we're making a custom password file to crack this person's password. So we're going to hit process full word list. Okay, and actually, before I do this, I'm going to show you one other thing here. Notice it says hashcat and John rules. This will output the information that you need to feed into hashcat or John Ripper, and it will automatically do the same thing using that and try to crack it. Okay, so another automation that's possible, but we're going to do a full word list, and we're going to call this one Jane2.text. Okay, right there, and we're going to say save. Okay, so now it's processing it. It says processing complete, because we did a very simple short list. So, but remember, it still did well over 1 million words, so that's pretty damn fast. So we're going to exit this now. We're going to clear the screen, all that gobbledygook, and there's our Jane2 file. So if we do cat Jane, and it's going to tell us what do you want next. I say 2, finishes autocomplete, and there it is. And look, it's added all kinds of different special letters and cases and all, just like we told it to do, using the various words. Okay, so you can do combos of this too in your custom word list before you feed it into this. Like if she has a 57 Chevy, maybe Jane 57 Chevy or 57 Jane or stuff like that, and it will customize it like this for you. It'll even do a type of leet speak on it, so you can customize word list like that also. Okay, so that's three different or two different ways here that you can get a word list. Now I'm going to show you a third to do a customized word list, and this is pretty cool. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you where to get this, because this doesn't come with Kali either. On GitHub, same place you get Mentalist. Okay, you can find this on GitHub. It's called bopscrk or CRK, bopscrk basically. Okay, I wanted to pull this one up because the spelling's kind of weird. It's not like Mentalist; it's just a word. But that's what you want to look up. You grab your code, copy it here, and then just like normal, like you would any other program, you do your git clone and then paste in what you're putting there, okay, that you just got from GitHub, and it'll clone it into a directory, and then you compile it, etc., etc. Now I have it compiled already, so I'm going to go ahead and call it up, and there it is. Now this is your help file. Just by typing it in, it tells you everything in there that you need to know, what your different triggers are, what they go to. Now what we're going to do here, and let's see, O is our output. Okay, so let's try type it in here again. Bops, can't spell, CRK, and we're going to do TAC I or -I for interactive. Now this is a really cool feature. I want you to watch what happens. Okay, now it's asking me passwords, minimum length. It says 4. Okay, we'll go with that. I'll just hit enter, so it's automatically there. Maximum length, let's say 6. Okay, because we're going to do this quickly. First name, well, our first name is Jane, but let's make it different. Let's say Rebecca. Surname, okay, no surname because it's a female. So last name, we'll go with Johnson again. Birth date, okay, now you see the format. Notice it's got a slash in between there, a / in between. So we'll say, second month and 13th day and 1970. And see, it told me wrong format here. Now I don't know why, because we did put that in the correct format, but let's try it again. Okay, 02, let's go 22 1973. It doesn't want to let me do it. How about that? Okay, let's try this again. Alright, 02 13 1956. I don't know why it's giving an error now, but we'll just go past it. Alright, artist names to search for. So you actually give it a musical artist. Alright, we're going to say, I don't know, Prince, comma, James Brown, comma, Lady Gaga. Alright, we'll hit enter. Some other relevant words separated by comma. Okay, Chevy, teacher, what else can we say? 1957. Okay, do you want to make leet transforms to do leet talk in it? And we're going to say no. Do you want to make case transforms? Sure. How much, or it should be how many, but it says how much words do you want to combine at most? And the default is 2, so we'll go with that. Output file, so we name it new list.txt. That's what we're going to call it. Alright, so then we hit enter, boom, it's done. Okay, so then we'll clear that, and there's new list. So we're going to cat new list, and there's our new list, and it has taken all the words we give it to make specialized passwords with various case words and everything. Now all these I'm doing them in very simple format, so it'll be quick because I don't want to make this a 5-hour long tutorial. But that's 3 different methods that you can make custom word list with. And I'm not sure why we got that error on the birth date. For some reason, I normally don't get that, but anyway, hopefully you won't get that error. But that's how you make your word list, your custom word list. And custom word lists are very important because, like I said, people normally use simple passwords, and they use things that are unbelievably stupid, like their pet's name or the name of their school, or their favorite car, like a 57 Chevy, like I said, things like that. So hopefully this will help you with your cracking. All right, thank you very much. Have a good evening and happy cracking.